What's going on, guys? Matt Weik, Weik Fitness. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode. So today, what I want to do is we are right around the holidays. With December coming up, everyone's talking about Christmas and Hanukkah and Kwanzaa and all the other holidays that are celebrated. Now, what is the number one concern that most people have surrounding the holidays? Most of the time, it deals with finances. How much money do you have available? Now, I'm going to preface this whole podcast by saying what I'm about to talk about is not a reflection of where you are or are not currently. I think everyone has the ability to improve their current situations. And how do you do that? You do that by learning new skills. You do that by working hard. You do that by hustling. Maybe you do stuff on the side. So what I want to do is I want to talk about different ways that you can make more money so that you can be somewhat more financially free, so to speak. Now, in general, when you look at the average American median household income, it's only $63,000. It's actually $63,140, something like that. So let's just say $64,000, okay? Now, obviously the people who have the household income of that are probably, living within their means, so to speak, because they don't have a lot of play. I mean, if you look at mortgages today, or rent today, or, taxes, having a car, maybe you have a car loan, maybe you have a student loan. There are so many factors that go into place with, you could say cash flow, how much money you're bringing in and how much money is going out of your house. Now, I'm only going to use myself as an example because I can only speak for myself. I don't live a lavish lifestyle, okay? I don't live in the mansion on the hills. I'm not in LA. I'm not in, Miami. I don't have these, luxurious things. I don't have boats and jets and all of that nonsense that quite frankly, it depreciates ridiculously quickly. But when I look at my own finances, how much money is going out of our bank account on a, let's just say, an annual basis. I mean, I have 3 kids. My oldest son just went to school. So technically he's not in daycare, but the twins just started daycare this year. So that expense, and I'm being transparent with you guys, that expense alone is around $30,000. So that's half of what the median household income is for Americans. Now, most of you might be saying, holy shit, that's a lot of money. And you are absolutely correct. If you were in that situation where your median household income was $63,000, $64,000, that would basically be like eliminating an entire salary for one of the people who live in that house. So what I like to do is, now obviously, I have Weik Fitness. I have a few other businesses that you could say I'm silent partners in that I don't really announce. I just kind of, play behind the scenes. But the fact of the matter is, if you're not happy with the situation that you're in financially right now, where you are with your bank account, I mean, there's a ridiculous amount of people who live paycheck by paycheck. And I feel for those people. I look at that and I'm like, oh my gosh, I couldn't imagine waiting for Friday to get paid just so I know that I could go grocery shopping over the weekend to get food, to put on the plates of my family. So for that reason, I want to help you guys. Okay, look, I'm not Jeff Bezos. I'm not Mark Cuban. I'm not a multimillionaire billionaire. But there are certain strategies that I have utilized that brings in a good, you could say, side hustle amount of money that I want to share with you guys. Now, my one side hustle actually turned into Weik Fitness. Some of you know that I came from the fitness and the supplement side of the business. I was a trainer, strength coach, transitioned into the supplement side of the business. I worked for Met for nearly a decade, left Met to start Weik Fitness. Now, since I was in college, I've always been writing. I started out with bodybuilding.com. It branched out into other different websites and e-commerce platforms, and then it went to magazines, and it just kind of grew from there. So my passion has always been writing, but the whole gist of the writing is I love educating people and helping people, because back when I started, I didn't have those tools. I couldn't go online and type in free chest workout and get a whole bunch of chest workouts. You literally had to either go to the gym and just do trial and error to figure out what works for your own body type, or you would pay a personal trainer and they would help you get in shape. So I'm trying to give back. Now, granted, yes, my articles that I write for certain clients, I get paid for those. So yes, there is a monetary exchange of services, you could say. But at the same time, a lot of people would argue and say, well, Matt, you're a wealth of knowledge, you have the skills, and you should be paid for the skills that you can provide. Cool, I appreciate that, and I truly appreciate all the clients that I work with doing their content and their copy, whether it's for product labels or website copy for like a product page, homepage, about us, whatever, newsletter, social media, you name it. If it has text in it, I'm basically working on it. So with that being said, I took my passion and the side hustle that I had when I was working with Metrex, because at night I would write articles for all these places. So I would have my income from Metrex, I would have my income from this the side hustle of writing content, and then eventually the scales started to tip in the way of I make more money with my writing. So, when I left Metrex and started Weik Fitness, it was like taking my side hustle and making it my new career. These days they call that, entrepreneurship. You can call it whatever you want. But what do you have? What do you possess? What skills do you have? Where are your passions? Where you can start making some extra money on the side. Now, anyone who says writing books is going to make you a lot of money is absolutely clueless. Unless you're, Stephen King or some gigantic author, you're not making money. And writing books, you're not doing it for the money. You're doing it for the exposure. You're doing it to help people. Maybe you're using it as a freebie, as part of a funnel that, maybe it goes into a course or supplements or different products or goods or services or whatever. And that would be kind of, where you're trying to get people to buy or click, whatever the case may be, the call to action, so to speak. So if you have a certain skill set, okay, let's say you're fluent in Spanish, okay, why not tutor people to learn to speak Spanish? Look at all of these languages that are becoming part of society these days here in America. I mean, you have Spanish, you have Chinese, you have all of these different languages that if you have that skill set that somebody could use, maybe it's a way for them to segue into a new position where they work. Maybe they're going to utilize that as a side hustle. Maybe they're transcribing or doing something like that on the side. That's cool. But for you, if you have that skill set and you can collect payment for providing a service, why not? If you're good at math, why not tutor students on math? If you have the skills of, let's say, for me, for example, I write books. Now, again, just what I said before, if you think you're going to make a ton of money off of books, you're absolutely crazy. However, it's in a sense a passive stream of income for me, meaning I wrote the book, I marketed the book, I have a company who goes out and helps do the marketing for me, and then every month I get a nice amount of money dropped right into my bank account. And it's one of those set it and forget it type of things. Same thing with the audiobooks that I have. A lot of people do courses. So if you're skilled in an area, maybe how to make podcasts. I don't consider myself a good podcaster, even though there was a website who actually put me in the same sentence as Nick Strength and Power, as well as Tim Ferriss. I don't believe I belong in a sentence with either of those guys. They're at the top of their game. I'm just here to provide content. I do it because I love doing it. Maybe I love just hearing myself talk. I don't know. But the fact of the matter is, if you have a skill, you can turn that into financial gain for yourself, for your family. Bring in extra money. So for me, writing helps. I also have affiliates that help. I have, banners on my site that help. There are so many different things that you can be doing. Maybe it's a blog. Maybe you love, Smurfs. I don't know. I'm just making it up. Maybe make a blog about Smurfs. And maybe on there you can put affiliate links or Amazon links to Smurf memorabilia and collectibles and all of this stuff where if somebody buys that, you make a small commission. Listen, all of this stuff adds up over time. I'm not saying you're going to be able to quit your job, the first week that you start a blog or you start tutoring or whatever. Look at it as an additional stream of revenue. That's how you get more money. You might be capped at your job. Maybe, you're as high as you can get with your skill or your degree or whatever. Fill in the blank. Where you're not going to be making any more money at the job that you're currently at. So where do you go from there? I mean, how motivated are you to go to work every day knowing that you have no way to move up that totem pole, to make more money? You're probably not as motivated as you should be. And that's where these side hustles come in. If you have a passion, something that you love to do, try and monetize it. I mean, look at Gary Vee, okay? The dude has more money than God, right? And what does he do on weekends? Not every weekend, but what does he do on some weekends? He goes to garage sales, right? Why? Because he loves it. The dude doesn't need the money. Let's be honest. If he flips a Saturday's worth of collectibles or mugs or whatever that he buys, and let's just say he makes $3,000, he probably lost money during that whole thing because of his time. His time would have been better spent doing something else that would make him more money because he's Gary Vaynerchuk. He doesn't need to garage sale, but he loves it. So for him, selling a mug at a quarter that he bought it for and selling it for $5, he loves it. It's the hustle. It's the grind. It's the game. It's the challenge. Now, granted, Gary knows what he's looking for. He's just not randomly going up to places and being like, this looks good. I'm just going to buy it and let's see how much I can flip it for. He knows what he's looking for. So if you have those skills, why not utilize those to your best ability to bring in extra income for your family? And here's a little fun fact, and I thought this was really mind-boggling because I expected the number to be so much higher. When we think of the upper echelon, the wealthy, the super wealthy, the rich, how much money do you think you need to make per year to be in that upper 1% that everyone talks about? The Bezos, the Zuckerberg, the Elon Musks of the world, the Warren Buffetts. How much money do you think you need to make every year to be in that 1%? Take a guess and put it down in the comments if you're watching this on YouTube. And while you're at it, while you're there, feel free to subscribe, like this video. It helps the algorithm. It helps it get out in front of more people. The more that you guys engage with the content, the more that the platforms think that it brings value, and they'll help show it in different searches. So that would really mean a lot to me if you guys could do that. So whether it's a podcast or you're watching it on YouTube, like it, subscribe. It really helps out this podcast. But with that being said, I hope you guys put it down in the comments what you think the number needs to be in the 1% of Americans. Are you ready for the number? Are you really ready for the number? Because it's not as high as what you would think. All right, here we go. You would need to make, now I'm going to say only, just because in my head I'm thinking it's way higher than what it should be, or it's lower than what it should be, but I was expecting it to be way higher. $250,000 a year will put you in the 1% of Americans. And I think something like the statistic, if your household income is 250, I think that puts you within like the 5% of Americans. So listen, if you have a good paying job and you have skills that you can utilize to start a business, start a side hustle, look, the sky's the limit. Don't cap yourself on your abilities. I'm not smart enough. Listen, I think I'm dumb as hell. Truly. And I tell my family that. My brother-in-law says all the time, like, man, you're so smart. You're making a ton of money off of your businesses. I wish I could do something like that. I'm not smart. I am the furthest thing from being smart. I work extremely hard. I take pride in what I do. And I capitalize on my strengths. Listen, if I have strengths, I'm smart in that aspect. Everything else, I can be dumb. I could be the dumbest person on the face of the earth. But if I can capitalize on that one niche, I know that I can monetize that. And so can you. So, again, we are around the holidays. You want to get your kids the gifts that they really want. You want to have a nice get-together with your family. You want to have everybody over. You want to take on that responsibility, right? Maybe you do, maybe you don't. But everything today takes money. Because everything costs money. You got the taxes coming out of your paycheck. You got the taxes that you got to pay on your home. You have the insurance that you have to pay on your home. You have your car loan, or maybe you outright bought your car and that soaked up a ton of money from your checking account or banking account, whatever, savings. Hopefully you're investing in your retirement, which is absolutely necessary. If you're not doing that now, make sure you're paying yourself first, okay? Don't pay yourself last. You have all the other expenses. You have your utilities. I mean, everything just piles up. And so for that reason, I understand why so many people are barely getting by. Because in order to live, it doesn't matter where you live. If you live in New York or LA or Miami or some, luxurious location, Beverly Hills, $63K as a median household income ain't gonna cut it. Okay? I want you guys to be successful. I believe in you, and that's all you need other than believing in yourself. Okay? If nothing else, when everyone doubts you, believe in yourself and double down on your skills, your abilities, and your mentality to do better, to be better. That's really all I got for this. I wanted to talk about this, and money and finances, I feel, is just one of those topics that it's hard to talk about because nobody wants to talk about it. It's kind of like politics and religion. You don't want to get into those things because it can trigger some people, right? You have the people who money isn't everything, and then you have the people that, money is everything. I'm not here to tell you which way is right. Only you know that for yourself. But at the end of the day, I will say this. Money may not make you happy, okay? But it will absolutely make your life easier. If you can get to the point where you live debt-free and you don't have to pay your mortgage, pay your student loan, pay your car payment or car loan. When you're debt-free, there's a freedom in that where any money that you bring in essentially can either be saved, put into retirement, you can load up your 401k at work. You don't have to worry about the day-to-day challenges of, can I put money in my account, but yet can I still put food on the table? Can I put clothes on my kid's back? Am I able to go on a vacation this year? Those are all things that you don't have to worry about if you can create that financial freedom through a side hustle, your current, employer, starting a business maybe, as well as working. You can do all of these things. Don't limit yourself to what is up here. The mind is extremely powerful. Whether you think you can or you can't, you're absolutely right. It's all in the mentality that you have. So with that being said, I want you guys to have the most fantastic holiday season. From Thanksgiving to, Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, to the start of the new year. I want you guys to be successful. I want you to feel a sense of freedom. That you're not, handcuffed and shackled because of the amount of money that you make or don't make. Okay? And as always, feel free to reach out to me. If you have questions, if I said something that you're like, I wonder what he meant about that. I want him to elaborate. Let me know. Send me a message on social media at Weik Fitness. It's on all platforms, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Let me know. You can go to the website, weikfitness.com, click on contact, put in the comments, that you want, send it to me, and I'll respond. I just want to help you guys. Far too many people, in my opinion, are living the life that, quite frankly, they don't deserve. If they can just tweak things a little bit, and especially change their mentality, the sky is truly the limit. I'm living proof. As an idiot, if I can own a business and be successful, so can you. If I can have a side hustle while working a 9-to-5, so can you. You just have to have that passion. So if anything, I hope that in itself brought the value that you guys need to say, I can do this. I love doing this, and figure out how to reverse engineer it. If you need an extra $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, $50,000 a year, reverse engineer that with the skill set that you have. How much do you have to charge? How many people do you need to do? If it's a service, how many people do you need to work with? If it's a good, how many products do you need to sell in order to make that money? Reverse engineer that, okay? And then go out and execute on that. I could ramble for hours on this because I'm so passionate about this, because I want you guys to be successful. So with that being said, I hope this brought you guys some value. If it did, please favorite, subscribe, share it with your friends, your family, your coworkers, anyone who you feel needs to see and hear this. Please help me out and do that. Most of all, do it for yourself. Because I believe that you guys have more in you, that you can do more. And I want you guys to find the happiness that I feel with the things that I do. So, I love you guys. Thank you for tuning in. You could be anywhere, but you spent the time sitting here with me, listening to me ramble, but hopefully bring you guys tremendous value. So that being said, take it easy, guys. I hope to catch you guys on the next episode.